morning. No? Good morning. Everyone, good morning everyone joining us this morning at Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, or Triple U for short. My name is Allie Carville. I use she, her. I am seated using a wheelchair, blonde hair, wearing a blue polo shirt, and I'm glad to be your service leader this morning. If we could take a moment to make sure our cell phones and other devices are turned silent for our time together. Thank you. Just a few notes of housekeeping. COVID and flu is still around. There are free vaccines at many local pharmacies, as others have said. If you're feeling yucky, we do have the option of live streaming, so stay home until you do feel better. There are emergency exits. The most accessible is the entrance that you came in through, down the hall. And last resort, there is one to the back. It does have a bump to get out of. I'd like to take a moment to welcome any visitors and guests this morning, both in person and online. Let's take a moment to wave to our online friends and guests. We're a lay-led congregation, which means we don't have a called minister, and our topics vary widely from academic, spiritual, and today's a more social justice-focused service, as this is one of our deeply held values that bring us together in beloved community. Guests and friends, please try to come a few times to gain an understanding of our principles and practices. I'd like to give you an opportunity now to greet your neighbor for a moment. And as we have this time, if you have a committee, never mind. Worry about it. It's all good. Nope. That one quick. All right. Nope. That fucking worked. Let's now come back to our shared space with committee moments. If you have an announcement to make for a committee, please come up to the mic or raise your hand and someone will bring the mic to you.
Okay, I don't see the blurbs up there, but next week at 9 a.m., we're having another session of our discussion group, New Inquiring Minds. And we've taken to doing open mic for our early sessions, and we'll be doing that again. So we encourage you, if you like to discuss ideas and examine issues from various sides and look at nuanced arguments, you might be interested in coming and joining us. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is that we're having choir rehearsal after the service. So if you like to sing, come check us out. Thanks.
Hi, Lori. I'm wearing two hats. The first one is hospitality. And you may have noticed as you came in that we're having a potluck next week. So next week's the big week. We have our water ceremony, new membership, and then a potluck. It's going to be Oktoberfest themed. And if you want to cook, that's wonderful. We love all the meals, and that really makes the meals interesting. If you don't like to cook and you wanted to just donate money for the bratwurst and impossible sausages and that type of stuff, see me, or put it in an envelope in the basket, and it will get to me. So that's the potluck. And the other thing I'm wearing is part of the Pastoral Care Committee. And on October 12th, we're having an inclusion conversation led by Reverend Kathy. And it's going to be talking about how we can be sure that our actions are inclusive to everybody. So please think about staying on the 12th and enjoying that event.
Hi everyone, Tay with RE. So first is next week is water communion. So like I mentioned last week, we are doing, the RE kids will be learning some ASL to our hymn, I've Got Peace Like a River. Lindsay is helping us out with that. She'll be coming back again today to review signs, but I did send out in the RE newsletter a YouTube video that shows the signs, and I pointed out which ones we really wanted to focus on. So that's the first thing. Also, with water communion, we will not have traditional RE that day. We will be in the service the whole time. I will be sending out a sign up for trunk or treat and putting that in the notable news and getting it here. But that way we can get an idea of who all will be participating in that this year. That will be October 26th. And then also, I am doing the Pride Committee. We have Pride signups, I believe is the next slide. So here's the sign up for it. A lot more details about the schedule and everything is on there. And if you have any questions, you can email me and I will coordinate with our 1U, coordinate with 1U and get some answers if I don't have them off the top of my head. Also related to Pride, we will be doing a bracelet making event on October 12th. That will happen after the service, and we'll be making bracelets to wear and hand out during Pride, and hopefully some members from 1U will be coming as well. So you can sign up for that on this QR code specifically, even if you're not going to the rest of Pride. Otherwise, I have a different flyer that is specific for bracelet making. Kids are welcome, but childcare would not be provided, but kids can help make bracelets for sure. So thank you.
Good morning, Kelly Buchanan with the Marketing Committee. Just to let you know that the t-shirts, Side with Love t-shirts are here. If you ordered one, Melanie and I will be providing you your shirts for pickup in the conference room. I wanted to let you know that I did order 10 extra shirts, a variety of sizes, so if you missed the order, we've got extra, just let me know. Thank you.
And the methods of payment we're taking are cash, but I would prefer if you have exact change. I don't really have any change, and if you could put it in an envelope with your name on it. There are a few envelopes on the table over there underneath the name tags, and there's more envelopes in the office that we can get for you. Check, and just put on the memo line that it's for the t-shirts. We also do Zelle. For Zelle, the email address is treasurer@universityuus, as in sam.org. or Vanco. Mainly for Vanco, if you do Vanco today, I'll need to see your receipt. Vanco doesn't update for 24 to 48 hours. Zelle, I should get pretty quickly, but if it takes a couple extra minutes for Zelle to come through, you can just show me your receipt on your phone. I don't need paper receipts, just to verify that everyone has paid. If you have any other questions about payment, I'll be in the conference room after service.
Jill Vita asked me to just remind everybody that the Women's Social Group is this Friday. It's a potluck at 6:30, so anybody who's a woman or identifies as a woman is welcome. I'm going to miss it because we have one of our auction events happens to be this Friday. So, and just a reminder, if you're interested in knowing a little bit more about our board, we do have the vice presidency position open, and I'm happy to talk to you about that. We had a couple people show up this morning to coffee with the board. That was nice, and that's it.
Hey guys, Derek, Facilities and Grounds. Grounds today, and like I said last week, not coffee grounds. Hey, look, so Saturday, October 25th, Facilities and Grounds is teaming up with the RE team for a little planting of wildflowers. Jason is going to give us truckloads of really cool wildflowers to bring in, and we'll plant them over there and sprinkle them throughout the property. So Saturday morning, the 25th. October the 25th.
Hi, Laura Owens with Social Action Committee. We're doing a collection for Hope Community out of Apopka. Anybody who's familiar with them, we've worked with them over the years. They were started by 3 Roman Catholic nuns. Martha knows, Sister Anne. She would come and speak to us. And they are in desperate need to fill their pantry. There's numerous reasons why they're having issues with that. But for anybody who doesn't know, they work very closely with the farm community and immigrant community and the working poor. It's for anybody who needs it. So the box is in the conference room, and there is a picture of what the items are that are needed, if you could take a picture of that. And the other quick message was, if you do join us for the women's support group each month, please, please, please RSVP. It's not a problem at all if you just show up, but it really, if you can RSVP, because if only 2 people show up and we've opened up the church and we're setting up things, we need at least 4 people. So please do RSVP. That would be very helpful. Thank you. Did you want to add to that?
Just adding a little bit for the women's support group. I'm Marilyn Furmanek. Just a little bit different from the women's social group. We're still fun. Just a way to get to know each other better on maybe a deeper level, perhaps. Almost a little bit like Joys and Concerns, but extended and uninterrupted. If you want to share what's going on with you, a concern or a joy, or just what's been happening in your life. Potluck at 6:30. I'll be sending out an email, and if you can RSVP, that'd be great.
Paula Despang. I'm from the Service Planning Committee. And in case you hadn't heard, next week we're having our water communion. And so if you'll just bring your water and something about its meaning to you, your thoughts, please. And also, our new members will be welcomed, and that's always a wonderful time, welcoming new people here. Yay! So I'll see you then.
Good morning, everyone. Miguel Rodriguez from SAC. And SAC stands for? Oh, Special Assault Commandos. You didn't know that UU had its own special forces, didn't you? No, you're right. Social Action Committee for Peace, actually. And, don't do this to me. SAC is your one stop for social action, like getting out the vote, interfaith collaboration, protection from persecution. We've joined the pledge, so the organizations, local organizations, and places of worship protect each other. SAC speakers for services like today, organized by Martha Kirby. Volunteer and donation opportunities to help underprivileged UCF students, immigrants, and farm workers, like you heard Laura say today, Hope Community Center in Apopka. Local poor communities, the unhoused/homeless community, reproductive rights, organizations like Planned Parenthood, event planning for and participation in Pride, protest marches and rallies, education, information, and inspiration through the resource guide, reaching out across political divide, U.S. healthcare policy, effective activism, and UUU member essays and poetry like the ones that Lindsay provides for us. And we thank Laura and Colleen for that resource guide as well. SAC does much, much more. So come join us if you want to be the change you want to see in the world at 12 today, from 12 to 1. Thank you. In the library.
Well, thank you. So the women's group is meeting on October 13th, and the men's group is meeting on October 13th. And Marilyn's told me that the men's group have to be quiet. And that's not going to happen. No, no. Anyway, 13th, October 13th, we'll be in the back. The women will be in the front. And never the twain shall meet. So if you are a man or you identify as a man, we'd love to have you. And if you need more information, come talk to me.
We are very much a lively congregation and busy. Thank you all for your announcements. My opening words are an excerpt from the Reverend Fred Small, a well-known minister in the environmental justice movement. Siding with love affirms the full humanity of all people. It honors the inherent worth and dignity, the spark of the divine in each and every person. Siding with love means treating each other well, whether ally or adversary. Love is patient, wrote the Apostle Paul. Love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. Siding with love means being more committed to being reconciled than being right. Love does not insist on its own way. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Rabbi Abraham Heschel taught us, is one whose greatest passion is compassion, whose greatest strength is love and defiance of despair. His friend, the Martin Luther King Jr., added, I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. So when someone asks what Unitarian Universalists believe, or why we're speaking out on queer rights, or immigrant rights, or disability rights, or human rights, or why we even bother to go to church on a Sunday morning, let's tell them we're siding with love. May it be so. Our opening hymn is number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are, led by Janet and Gary Levins.
Yeah, we'll be singing this as a round. We'll be singing it through once, the whole melody, and then as a round twice. And I'll lead this section starting off, and then Gary's going to come in with the other section. We've done this before. It should be familiar for many of you. So, and please rise. Come, come, whoever you are, wander, worshipper, lover of living, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of living, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of living, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come yet again, come. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And now is the time for lighting of our chalice, which is a tradition of the Unitarian Universalist faith. And today's chalice lighter is Addie. She is 6, and she uses the pronouns she, her. And today her joy is paint day. Uh-oh. Take 2. Hey. Thank you, Addie and Tay. Please join us in the lighting of the chalice, words following by our affirmation. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Now is time for our joys and concerns, a time for sharing anything that is on your heart, and please do remember this is online forever as we are streaming.
My joy is that at my school I had a fun one.
I have concern. My cousin Marvin passed away just yesterday morning. He had cancer real bad, and it's really a sad thing for me.
Hi, this is my second time here. I'm having a good time. I am sort of avoiding my responsibilities. I have to turn in a big project today. And instead I was like, I'm going to church today. So manifest or pray that I will be able to get that done.
Hello, I'm Chloe McElroy.
I'm Alyssa.
And we got to finally do magical dining. The amount of vegan options has never been quantifiable to actually spend the money on for the whole thing, because there's I don't know if anyone knows what magical dining is, but if you want to explain it.
So basically, it's a promotion that various local restaurants throughout Orlando do, where you get a 3-course meal for a set price, and they give you a little mini menu to pick for the meal. And unfortunately for Chloe, if there's not a vegan option in every category, then it's not worth the price, because then you just can't eat a whole course that you're paying for. But we found out this year that Viva at Winter Park had a vegan option in every, or Vinia, excuse me, Vinia in Winter Park had a vegan option in every category, in addition to vegan upgrades you could throw in. And we just decided to treat ourselves and have a really nice night out, and we found a really nice spot. It was great.
Yes, it is delicious, and the creme brulee is to die for.
Yes, I'm still thinking about it.
Also, if you noticed, our very fun purple-haired friend, sister, and roommate that is normally always with us here is still not feeling great. So please send her all the good vibes you can.
Yes, thank you.
I have the same joy as the person who the chalice lighter. I like painting.
My joy is my dad took me to go get a haircut.
Once again, I want to share with you all my joy of meditating. Something I've been doing twice a day for over 30 years. And I'm going to be leading a one-day meditation retreat on October 4th. There's a flyer on the door there. You can check that out and contact me. It's a great way to manage stress. These are very stressful times. So please consider spending some time being at peace. Wish you well.
Molly's the way that water community is coming up.
So I have a joy and a concern. My joy is I'm glad to be back with everybody after being gone for 5 months. And my concern is that the couples whose house I've been house sitting just got on the Queen Mary 2 to head across the Atlantic. So I want everyone to think about cold water. You want the water to get very cold so those little hurricanes decide to pull up their toes.
Good morning. Martha Kirby. I just have a brief joy. I went to my first PJI, which is Peace and Justice Institute practitioners web event yesterday. And when I was introducing myself to my table and I mentioned I was a Unitarian Universalist, the lady across from me said, I just heard your church mentioned in a video webinar about equality and access and disability access. And I'm like, oh my God, send that to me. So I haven't gotten it yet, but it was just really cool to know that we are out there in the world and more people will notice as we wear these beautiful yellow shirts.
Sorry I'm late. Joey Cole, I have a joy and a concern. They're the same thing. Joe is going on hospice this week. My joy is that it was his decision, and he's very peaceful with it, and he feels like he has control, which is a wonderful thing. My concern is obviously it's always difficult to realize that you're going to lose somebody that you love. But I'm very grateful for all the time we've had together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for sharing your joys and your concerns. I drop another stone for all those unnamed. Let's take a moment just to take that in. And now I'd like to invite Tay Barton up for a Time for All Ages story.
But I wrote it, so I should know most of it. Hi, everyone. I'm going to start by showing you 2 photos that I drew, and I want you to tell me what's going on in the photos. So let's go to the first photo. Does anyone have any idea? Alice! Here, wait, let me bring the mic to you, love.
One of the butterflies is beating up the other butterfly. I mean, the top butterfly is angry, and the bottom one is like damaged and hurt.
Anyone else with any interpretations? Melanie?
I don't know. I think the top butterfly is helping the bottom butterfly fly.
So what is going on in this photo is that the top butterfly is actually a superhero, and he is helping his other friend who is injured, who can no longer fly anymore. He is carrying the injured friend to the hospital because the school is no longer safe for him because kids may step on him. So that's what's going on in this photo. Let's go to the next drawing. Any ideas what's going on in this photo? Chase.
It's a frog and a pillow. They're painting.
Addie?
I think they're painting on a wall on the ground.
Joe, you had your hands up? Did you? No? Okay. So this one, oh, one more? Alice.
It looks like a frog and a piece of paper wearing a hat. It like having fun and maybe doing a paint fight.
So this one, the frog is Mr. Frog. The white guy is Mr. Paper. And they are best friends, and they work on the stage, and they live behind the curtain. And as soon as all the people are gone from the gym, they come out and they work all night as handymen. However, they can only work together because Mr. Frog and Mr. Paper will get nothing done if they are alone. So these are real stories that I have heard this week alone, told to me by kindergartners. Although they might be limited to the things kids could actually see in places they are thoroughly familiar with, they have the characteristics of real stories. They have characters, settings, plots, and problems. I'm sure they had some kind of resolution too, but unfortunately I forgot them as by that point another kid was using my head for a mountain for a dinosaur to climb on. One of the most spectacular minds in human history is Albert Einstein, who once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." For knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress and giving birth to evolution. We are sometimes quick to limit one's imagination to the facts of science. But what is a dancer if not someone who has a deep understanding of anatomy and physiology? What is a writer if not someone who has a deep understanding of psychology and human relations? What is an artist if not someone who has a deep understanding of physics and geometry? What makes these professions different than their more traditional STEM counterparts is that they not only understand the rules and laws of nature, but know how to bend and stretch them into new and unique ways. And what is creativity if not intelligence having fun? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tay, and thank you all for your contributions. Now is the time for our morning offering. We share 40% with a charitable organization selected by our Social Action Committee. Today is the Hope Community Center, which is dedicated to the empowerment of Central Florida's immigrant and working poor communities through education, advocacy, and spiritual growth. The morning offering will now be taken.
The gray hymnal in front of you, in the seat in front of you, and we'll have a short introduction.
This is hymn number 6, if you did not hear.
Yeah, hymn number 6, yes. Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I made my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to life. Just as long as vision lasts, I must answer yes to truth. In my dream and in my dark, always that elusive spark. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to truth. Just as long as my breath, answer yes to love. Though anointment pierce me through, still I kept on loving you. If they ask what I did best, tell them I said yes to love.
Mallory, let us now sing our children to their fun time and paint time this morning. Children and youth are always welcome to stay. Love you and bless you and send you on your way. We love you and bless you today and every day. Excuse me. This morning, we have our very own members and friends reflections of the history of the Unitarian Universalist Association's justice campaign, Side with Love, and a few of its initiatives called The Gathering and UU the Vote, and also how language and rhetoric marginalizes identities. First up, we have Martha.
didn't do a sound check first. Thank you for keeping us aware. It might be. I'm okay waiting a moment. Thank you. Thank you. What is love calling UUs to do? In a moment, we're going to share a video from Side with Love, an outreach and advocacy campaign officially launched by the UUA in 2008. The former name was Standing on the Side of Love, from a song written by Jason Shelton, a UU music minister who was in the room in 2004 when then UUA President William Sinkford took a phone call from a reporter, and in response to the question, where do UUs stand on marriage equality, he said, we stand on the side of love. At that time, marriage equality had just been legalized in Massachusetts, and the UUA office on 25 Beacon Street was right across the street from the State Assembly. And at the same time, President George W. Bush was pushing for a federal amendment solidifying marriage as only one man, one woman. The song was written by Jason. He said it poured out of him after hearing William Sinkford's words. And through the years, it has evolved to what we now know as Side with Love, which others will share. And how this video will talk about the evolution of the name and how you can participate in spreading love, choosing love, and sharing connection and UU values in the world. I can't wait to show up in my new bright yellow shirt and share my voice and my values. The video?
Side with Love was born in tragedy. It was born after the shooting in Knoxville. A white supremacist went into our church.
10 years ago, a shooting happened at my church, Tennessee Valley U Church, that claimed the lives of two people that I love a lot and two people that I care about that mentored me, top of a shooter.
To side with love means that we say our hearts are big enough and strong enough that they can break, and yet our spirits will not break.
I think we're at a critical moment of recognizing the difference between liberal and liberation. Being a religious liberal or a liberal, it's comfortable, it's kind of playing the game from the sidelines, and it's not what the world is calling us to do right now, and that liberation has to be embodied.
We look at Side with Love as an embodiment of our faith, as an embodiment of who we are, and how we are really willing to protect it with our call to justice and with putting our bodies and selves on the line.
And at Phoenix, I'll never forget, it was twilight, we were busing in, and then we got outside the prisons, and people were singing. And so we were singing so loud, trying to get through the bars. Like, I'm not giving up on you.
Yesterday's action here in Spokane, it was another moment to be with a sea of UUs. This is resistance. We will continue to resist, and together we side with love.
We as Unitarian Universalists, and we in every congregation, has to sit and rest with what are we doing to cause the harm in our communities and how we can really hold in community care.
With the hateful rhetoric and the cruelty of the policies and the rollbacks for transgender folks, for prisons and mass incarceration, and seeing the anti-immigration stuff get so much worse. Sometimes it looks so much like the hate and cruelty is winning that you just want to shut down, and if I have privilege, I want to go hide in it. But love over and over calls us out.
Let us take all that we have in our hearts, but wherever we go, we have an opportunity, an invitation to actually choose to side with love. Love in its essence is for us to actually disrupt when we see injustice. Love in its essence is showing up and showing out every chance that you get. May it be so.
Thank you for sharing that video. And now Roderick will speak on some of the initiatives of Side with Love and Gathering and many of its initiatives. Go ahead.
Unitarian Universalist Association is a complex and multi-layered organization. Something I was about to discover more fully as I embarked upon a journey of discovery when Anne suggested that William and I should join in a conversation being held called The Gathering, which is part of Side with Love. As we attended the gathering, which is an hour-long monthly Zoom presentation, it consists of songs, words of appreciation and encouragement, and a speaker on a topic specific to Side with Love and their principles and values. Sometimes the message being delivered seemed to me like a college-level seminar talk. And although I am a college graduate myself, I sometimes found it difficult to follow. At the conclusion of the meeting, I was left feeling not complete and not understanding, wondering why there was not a call to action. What was it that we were to do with all of the information that we had received? And then, 3 days ago, I received an email. The email was from UU the Vote. And the banner on the top said, No King's Day, October 18th, 2025. I lit up like a Christmas tree. This was the inductions dinner. This is the recruitment office. Private Jacobs reporting for the resistance. So, at this site are links to all of the locations across the entire country where you can register and sign up to participate. Links to donations, training sites. This is a well thought out, completely well designed site. Everything is thought of, and training and security is paramount. Do I imagine that showing up could be risky? Likely. However, I deemed not showing up to be more risky. Do I imagine that a gay man could be detained by ICE, sent to a detention center, and branded with a pink triangle? Do I imagine that a professor, academics, teachers could be detained by ICE? Do I imagine that newspaper editors, writers, television producers, television personalities could be detained by ICE? I can imagine anyone who speaks contrary to the authoritarian regime, which is right now curtailing our freedom of speech, being detained by ICE. Now is the moment to have courage and show up and speak up for our values. Now, when it's necessary to show up with power and force. Now, this doesn't mean my personal physical strength or how many weapons of destruction and killing power I possess. Power means millions of people showing up and saying, enough is enough. We're not taking it anymore. Power is showing up to vote and bring back dignity and common sense to the Congress. Power is standing up to one man who, with cruel, immoral character, with no regard for all of the people that he was elected to care for, would take away our democracy and liberty. We have seen clearly what can happen if one twisted, demonic person is allowed to gain total control. Both in the present and not so distant past, Venezuela, country where millions of people have been displaced and had to leave their homes. The country is decimated. North Korea, a country with a dictator. Total chaos for their people and standard of living, none. Many thousands of people, Muslims, in China are subject to atrocities, a country dominated primarily by one man. One man in Russia has caused the death of millions of people by invading a peaceful country with only personal gain in mind. We are living in a moment like no other. Unimaginable. And yet, more chaotic each day. There is not one of us that does not matter. Not one of us that is not needed. Will you join me in the side with love? And now, why did I receive that email from UU the Vote? Well, as it turns out, UU the Vote is the Action Center for Side with Love. And the Action Center for Side with Love has as its goal, as its mission, 4 primary objectives. Climate justice. And this is something that was addressed by one of our gathering meetings, where we learned that a UU community in Georgia had been effective in promoting some legislative changes that were needed. 2, democracy and electoral justice, which is the link to UU the Vote. Immigration justice and LGBTQ1A+++ gender justice. Back to the gathering. I now have an understanding and appreciation for what the gathering is. The gathering is a think tank, a place for strategic planning, a toolbox of resources to help provide us with a roadmap of how to get from the starting point to reach our objective. Finding ways to bring us into solidarity that we might have the strength to achieve our goals. Change that will mean joy, belonging, and liberation for everyone. And to block actions that might be harmful to our liberty and justice. My journey of discovery continues, as I hope yours does as well. Find something that resonates with you and join the resistance. I'm proud to be a member of this fellowship. I am proud to have you beside me on the side with love.
Thank you, Roderick. And now Kelly Buchanan will talk about joining the movement.
Good morning, everyone. And good morning. As Roderick has mentioned, the gathering is truly that core nucleus, the think tank, if you will, where all these ideas come to play. And then they're filtered down to these 4 initiatives. As he mentioned, we do have 4, but today I'm going to speak about the democracy and the electoral justice. Next slide. So my question to you today is, what does it mean to live our values, our UU values, in action when democracy feels so fragile. So when I think of the side with love, I think what it means to put our values into action. In times when democracy feels fragile, when voices are pushed aside and silenced, we as Unitarians are called to do more than simply hope for change. We are called to act. One powerful way we can do this is through UU the Vote. This is Side with Love's initiative that mobilizes us UUs across the country to engage in nonpartisan registered voter registration, education, and outreach. At its heart, it's about one simple but profound idea, and that's making every voice heard at the ballot box, okay, especially with those being at risk of being silenced. Think about how much effort it has taken throughout this country's history just to secure the right to vote. And so for those of us who've read a lot of books about it, again, think about from the long fight of the women's suffrage movement to the brave leaders of the civil rights movement who marched, who were jailed, who were beaten and lost their lives, to the ongoing work to break the barriers faced by the indigenous people, the people of color, and the people with disabilities. Every generation has had to struggle to expand this fundamental right to vote. And yet, today, we see new laws and practices that once again compromise that right, making it harder for many people to participate in our democracy. So this year, UU the Vote invites us to step forward to help and prepare UU the Vote for the 2026 campaign. Again, there are ways that we can take part, as Roderick has mentioned, but take part now by attending this is very new, a safety and security training. As we mentioned, we are at risk when we show up and show out, right? We are at risk, but now they have a new training on security and safety that we can all participate in. You can participate in the community mobilization. It's getting bigger and better. And of course, the voter contact, which is writing postcards, which we've done here, to voters, helping someone get registered, joining a phone bank, simply encouraging a friend or family member to make their voice heard. Again, small actions that we can take here locally, when multiplied, have a big impact. So as we've seen with UU the Vote, our faith calls us to protect and expand participation in our democracy. But voting is only one piece of the larger picture. Another initiative with Side with Love is focused directly on the democracy itself, which was on the slide, but you're good. We're fine. And here's the truth, folks. Democracy is just not a destination, right? It's a practice. It is something that we must nurture. Democracy is something we have to protect, and we have to strengthen it every single day. You can go to the next slide. Our Unitarian Universalist values tells us that democracy is rooted in interdependence and the worth and dignity of all people. The true democracy is multiracial, inclusive, and participatory. But today, we see the rise of authoritarianism. We've seen it, an effort to consolidate power in the hands of a few and to silence the voice of many of us. So history reminds us that democracy is never guaranteed and has always taken our hard work, sacrifice to build more of an inclusive system, whether through the abolition movement, the women's suffrage, or the civil rights movement. Each generation in our past has been called to defend and expand the right to participate fully in our democracy. And today, that call is ours. It's our time. The good news is that we are not alone. In my opinion, we are the majority. And together, when we organize, we have the power to build a truly multiracial democracy where every voice matters and every vote counts. So that is why on the Side of Love and the UUA are calling us into action. And on Saturday, October the 18th, from 10 to 12, we will join thousands of others across the country in the No Kings National Mobilization. Again, this is an opportunity for us to stand up for our democracy and to show that power belongs to us, the people, not the kings, not the authoritative leaders, and not to the system that excludes other people. Friends, democracy will not defend itself. It depends on us, our willing and courage and our commitment and our willingness to show up and to show out. So let us work together. Let us side with love. Let us take action on October the 18th to build a democracy that we believe in. So in closing, let us take all that we've heard today and will hear and all that we carry in our hearts, because wherever we go, we have an opportunity and an invitation to choose to side with love in these 4 initiatives. For many of us, Side with Love is more than a campaign. It's more than just a slogan. It's more than a logo. It's a value statement that we UUs live by. It is the way we put our faith into action. Okay? So every time you wear your yellow shirt, you have your pin. Every time you have your sticker, I think Martha has some stickers. Every time you join an event, every time you speak to someone about the values of love, inclusion, and the justice, remember this. Remember this. Remember this, when you wear this shirt, you are an ambassador of this campaign. You are an ambassador. You represent this movement. You are reminding the world that love is just not a feeling, but it's a choice, and a choice to act, a choice to build, and a choice to side with love. So may it be so. So at this time, I would like to introduce to you our final speaker, who has some wonderful words of reflection about her own personal experience with Side with Love. So I'll introduce you to Allie Carville.
Thank you, Kelly. And just a note, we don't have the stickers today, but they're coming soon. Yes, but we do have the shirts today, so pick up your shirts. So, in my reflection, I've given thought to this over the years many times, but in a different way than today. As we understand justice work, have you ever noticed we praise the strength to stand up for what's right? But what if that phrasing leaves some of us on the margin, but still included? As many of you may know through conversation with me, I've grown up in this faith since I was about 5. Many times my congregation and my understanding of our faith was a place where I could learn to use my authentic voice and not feel held back or minimized into a certain identity that others in the larger society had placed upon me. Like, she's only ... She can only do ... fill in the blank. In my life, through the guidance of my family and past congregation and other individuals and people with shared identities, I found empowerment in my self-expression. Outside of my personality, very outspoken, for those who know me, my identity is a white, bi, queer, physically disabled woman. Sometimes in liturgical language, not just Unitarian Universalism, there's a preference to highlight strength and the ability to stand up to truth and power. This has been a slight ouch for many disabled folks who use that as a noble mark of good faith, good action. If you do this, you're on the right path. One such example, as we have described this morning, was the Standing on the Side of Love, written by the Reverend Jason Shelton. Later, after understanding his writing from another perspective, Shelton said, quote, "There's a larger conversation around liturgical language as metaphor that we need to have," he says. "But we're not going to have it if the people who hold power treat language as sacred, unchangeable text. How do you move toward equalizing power? End quote. There's an image, Miguel, that goes around of several people behind a fence watching a baseball game, with varying levels of accommodation or lack thereof. In the original image, there was only equity, equality, and justice. 3 frames that you might see in the middle. But someone online found that it wasn't quite the full picture, and they added one on either side. Equality, everybody gets the same box to stand over the fence. Problem, not everyone is the same height. Still, not everybody can see over the fence. Equity, everybody gets the support that they need to see over the fence. Justice, all can see the game because the cause of the inequity has been removed. Yay, right? But wait, there's more, as I have mentioned. The new image has reality on the left, equality, equity, justice, and inclusion. This image that is presented was created by Twitter X user @ClinPsychDavid, or David Murphy, professor of clinical psychology at the University of Plymouth, UK. He adds reality, where one person has so many boxes under their feet that that person's not even in the picture. And the tallest person, yes. And then the equality, equity, and justice. And one more addition, inclusion, on the right. Where not only did we remove the barriers, but where one's value is known and they are involved in the activity. How does this relate to organizing justice work? The late Elandria E. Williams, who was featured in the video we watched, their pronouns are they, them. They're a Black Southern Appalachian disabled genderqueer pan-UU and now beloved ancestor. They have said the following: we're actually going to put all our organizing work in how we build community, how we build spaces of restoration, how we help each other realize we are worthy enough to be restored and well. You can't have abolition if you don't have free space. And if we're not liberated as individuals and as people and as a beloved community, we're not going to be liberated, period, because we don't know what that feels like. End quote. You're here. This is why words and language matter. Words, images, and language have power and lead us through better justice work through the community. There's still more tangible, societal, systemic, legal work to be done, yet how we communicate with each other is a great way to honor our UU principles. This is why we commit to the ongoing journey of Side with Love, which is more than language about physical or cognitive disabilities. That's where it started. This is language that is inclusive to all. It's a call not just to political action, but to spiritual accountability. To examine more than the very words we speak in this sanctuary and in the world, and the actions that the words can follow. Let's leave this space with a renewed commitment to choose words that liberate, not limit, to choose metaphors that include, not exclude, and to be truly faithful to the love that moves us all. May we go forth continuing to learn, continuing to understand, and continuing to love. May it be so. And now it is time to extinguish our chalice this morning. Please join me in the unison words above. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts, until we are together again. And now our closing words by Roderick.
These closing words by D.L. Helfer help us to imagine and to foster a world in which we listen more than we talk, where our priority is to learn as much as teach, a world in which we find ways to connect across chasms of differences, making space for revelation to emerge. Spirit of love, help us turn toward love, with the world, with each other, with ourselves, all the same thing at its core. Let us extend grace within our movements and between our movements, less sure, more curious, wondering together what is possible. Spirit of love, help us turn toward love, with the world, with each other, with ourselves, all the same thing at its core. Let us extend grace within our movements and between our movements. Less sure, more curious, wondering together what is possible. Lead us instead into the discomfort of learning from youth, young adults, activists, elders, those we cherish and those we find wanting. Lead us to the love that holds us all and is with us always, the love that can help us through the messy, necessary, life-altering work of building movements across beliefs, across differences, for change that can endure. May it ever be so.
Thank you, Roderick. Please join us for refreshments and do we have closing music? The video of I flip-flopped, I'm sorry. We have closing music, a video of the words of answering the call of love. Please enjoy.
The promise of the Spirit, faith, hope, and love abide, and so every soul is blessed and made whole. The truth in our hearts is our God. We are answering the call of love. As hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. Sometimes we build a barrier to keep love tightly bound, corrupted by fear, unwilling to hear, denying the beauty we found. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. A bright new day is dawning, when love will not divide. Reflections of grace in every embrace, fulfilling the vision divine. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith.
Now, please join us for refreshments and conversation. And please pick up your Side with Love with Kelly and Melanie in the office. Yes, thank you. Conference room, thank you. The other.